So a listener asks, what will the DNC do for the middle class? Because you mentioned what the mission is and what the Democrats stand for. And I think people need to be reminded of that because it is all about families.
Listen, I want to just lay out very briefly what I think the vision is for Democrats generally. Democrats believe that in the wealthiest country to ever exist, everybody should be able to have one family sustaining job, ideally backed up by a union if they want one.
Yep.
That should afford you the ability to be able to have a home in a community that is safe and a home that you can afford. That you should be able to send your kids out of the front door of that home and not worry about them being shot on the way there or being shot in their classroom. And they should open the door of a good school that is a public school that is fully funded. And then those kids should be able to go on and start a business or get their own family sustaining job, whatever that looks like, in a trade or in a 4-year degree program, whatever it is. And then you should be able to retire with a level of dignity and decency in that same home where you raised your kids. And a part of the way we make that a reality is by ensuring that every single person across this country pays their fair share, including the 400 billionaires who collectively have a combined wealth that is more than 50% of the country combined. So we make them pay their fair share so we can have those public schools that I mentioned that are fully funded, so that we can ensure, as I mentioned before, that people have dignified retirements. And then we have to also address the challenges of our time, challenges around AI, around big tech. And we have to have an economy that works for everybody. And a part of the way you have an economy that works is you get rid of all these huge monopolies where you have 5 or 6 companies that own everything. And we just get to be subscribers to all of everything that they provide. We need to blow up these big monopolies and actually have competition back in our economy. And then we have to take on big structural change ideas. Like we have to look at how we reform our Supreme Court, expand the court, have real court reform. We have to get rid of the filibuster when we are back in charge. And we have to get out of the mindset of protecting, niceties as they dismantle our Constitution. We have to use all of the power that we have, that people give us, to make their lives better and to do it with an urgency and with a ruthless efficiency that this moment demands, really.
I want everyone standing up and clapping. That's it. That's it. Make life better, everybody. That was fantastic.
Thank
I really appreciate
you so
that.
much.
I'm gonna take the transcript of that and make sure I have that in front of me when people ask, well, what do Democrats stand for? Because when someone just texted that.
Put it on a hat.
Put it on a hat. Someone just texted, it seems like the Democratic Party's only real branding is we're not that guy. And it's not true. I think it's your point about the consistency of the message and the volume of it. And we're not getting that if we're not running in those races, if we're not, we don't have 1,500 progressive radio stations. We got this one and maybe a dozen others. And so it's the volume, it's the consistency, the persistence, and all the things that you do. Thank you so much again.